Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Butter.
Butter who?
Butter, get out your umbrellas because it's about to goddamn rain. I won't hit you. I love you guys too much. Welcome back, everyone. We are watching the finale of Dead City today.
Wow.
What's going to happen? Are they going to find Herschel? Is he going to be okay?
I hope so.
So shall we get into this?
Let's do it.
What?
Uh-huh.
Because he has no idea.
That's right.
Oh, she's
look
so
at it.
happy.
Oh, look at it.
What are you doing here? How the hell did you get here?
Ginny!
See, and then that's perfect because it just wraps it all up.
That's it.
Ginny, how did you
And
know
you
she was
Know about
here?
this?
No. She just turned up at the arena.
Oh, don't look.
Oh, and she won't talk. She's hoping that she won't talk.
Oh,
What are you
She might
talking
talk.
about?
She
She's
might
looking
talk.
fine.
Bet she's going to
Honored
talk.
to be with you.
He doesn't trust it. Yeah.
Let me see your backpack.
Yeah, right?
Flair,
Yeah.
We gotta go.
you can't be here. You hear me? I can't protect you and help Maggie. There was a plan. Her and I, we come here, we get Herschel. You stay with her people where you're safe. That was the whole goddamn point. Then you stay safe and you know
And he's
that.
seeing it.
Yeah. Okay.
I can take her back.
Yeah, but you're injured.
You finish what you started. I can take her where she needs to go.
See, it's like weighing down on him a lot more now.
Yeah. See, I just wondered.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Well, he's not. He's so focused
All
right
these
now.
months and now you want to chat?
Uh-oh. Now she'll never talk again. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It took this emotional moment for her to
I
talk.
killed your dad.
I killed
Oh,
your
my
dad.
gosh.
Holy crap!
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Why though?
Oh.
I'm wanted for robbing a wagon train. I killed 5 men.
He's making her stay away from him.
Oh, is that the story?
Why I tracked you down to the farm. Why I let you tag along.
All this
I
right
knew you
now.
had no one.
Wow.
You're just a debt that I had to pay.
Oh,
He's
just
trying to
doing
push her
this.
away.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I think that's the truth, the story though.
Yeah,
You
probably.
don't.
Aw.
I'm not here. I know you're trying to get rid of her, but it's so dangerous in the
Come on,
freaking
that's right.
city.
Yes, she's not going to be.
I got you.
Poor thing.
No.
Okay,
She
okay,
won't
he is
go.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had to
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
we're gonna, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah,
That
that's-
killed him.
I think that was honest though that he did kill him. So we have a lot to discuss.
But
Oh, boy.
her dad was probably one of the guys that raped his wife. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
probably
thinking.
was,
That's
yeah.
insane. I know there's a lot of Walking Dead video games. I've never played them, so if you guys can recommend one, if they're worth doing. I do want to finish The Last of Us, though. You only have 40 minutes to do this. So. Okay, you guys had time to talk, and now
I
they're
know.
thinking of bad things.
Oh, boy.
Can I trust you?
You know more.
Okay, yeah.
Confess.
Oh, boy.
Guilt. Uh-oh,
He knows.
see?
He's gonna push it
You're
down.
so
yet.
close. No, it's gonna shut! Are you
Oh,
serious?
this is, oh my gosh.
Come on, guys. He's so mad.
It's been building up for so long.
He
And
knows.
Oh, come on.
Now our plants are gonna be
Yeah,
foiled.
okay.
Oh, come on! Don't do the tightrope now. Oh, they're like
fuck.
you need each other to save
oh,
your
so
son.
what do you do?
If she keeps going after him, is she gonna still
Come
fight
on,
him?
guys.
Oh my God, you're gonna do that.
Put your knife down.
I'm disappointed.
Right there.
Wow. It's a great stage.
Stop. Stop!
What? She did stab him!
What the hell?
What is that? Whoa.
Oh, that's it.
Whoa.
Oh, just
Ooh, you're
happened
lucky.
to have.
Wow! Superhero landing.
Wow.
Maggie, you're gonna get. See?
Whoa.
She won't.
Balls
But
went.
okay, now let it go, Maggie.
That's right.
Here's what I'm thinking. The crow never took your grain, just your kid. For collateral, sure, but he wasn't ever coming back for no harvest. He wanted me. Now for what? Who the hell knows? But whatever that crazy son of a bitch wants with me, I sure as shit ain't gonna like it. You and I both know that much. The shit thing is, Maggie, we could have done it. We could have saved Herschel. Because you and I together would make one hell of a badass team. But you know that, don't you? Maybe some part of you always wanted it to end this way. Fact is, Maggie, it doesn't matter what excuses I give you or how many apologies I offer. You can't get over it.
I don't think we fully can, but
And you shouldn't.
Ah,
something bad.
son of a bitch.
Oh, come on.
Such a cheat. Wow. For my son.
I am Dark Helmet.
I thought to myself, lucky me, I get to have Negan and the child.
Wait, what?
She's like, wait a second.
I know she's smarter than that. I know she's desperate, but
It's okay. Easy now.
You're welcome, you're saying.
see, but now that I think about it, he can easily just change his mind.
Yeah,
How can you trust
yeah,
that?
he's the boss. He's the psycho boss.
Your chances were way better working together.
That's right.
I told you so.
Just look after Jenny, will you? That's all I ask.
Jeez.
Damn it.
Okay, on her. Will he keep his promise? Aw.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
You murdered your dad.
Good to see you, kid.
I hope they can walk out of here now, and then she feels bad and saves Negan. Instead of something bad happening now where they have to work together.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Instead of deer crossing, walker walking.
Oh, cornfields.
Got him up against a wall. Had a gun on him. He made a move to get away, and I shot him.
Wow.
Killed him.
Wow.
Got the son of a bitch.
Let him finish.
He's lying.
I know, once he's found out, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Not much more to tell. Got back to my boat.
See,
Always where I
he's
left
not
him.
the same person he was when he
Felt long
left.
to get me home in one straight shot.
What I'd like you to do, Marshall. I'd like you to tell me your story again.
Really?
Tell the truth.
And this time, I want you to tell me all about the methane.
Great, so they want to go back
She
and
knows.
Oh, boy.
take
Oh,
everything
so
from the
they're gonna-
Croat.
Negan got it.
Yeah.
You do what you want with it. Having you back. There are not words I can use to express how glad I am.
Glad?
Of course.
Seemed like you cared more about
I don't know. Revenge or whatever.
What are you talking about?
It's like you're obsessed with Negan. With what he did. Getting him back, you've always been...
Herschel, I came for you.
And I'm right here. But you don't see me. It's like my whole life you've been looking over my shoulder. Watching for him, waiting for him.
That is not true.
You never see me.
Oh, it's terrible.
He saw that.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
That's a lot. It's like,
Yeah, that's right.
it is true. I mean, we don't see them interact a lot, but
Yeah.
just with Negan, yeah, she's very focused.
I only just arrived at the sanctuary. I was nothing. I was broken.
Got more guilt. You made me into something.
But you saw something in me. Not what I was. Not what I could become. You and me have a crack at it. Of course.
Crack.
I had no
Terrible.
idea what I was doing. My first swing, I completely missed. The second time, I overcompensated and pounded him with far too much force. I was lucky he was still breathing. But you didn't get upset with me. No, you took your time. You had the patience to show me how to do it right.
And I don't want to keep doing that anymore.
Oh, he needs to hear
I don't know
that.
how. But this thing with Negan. I'm gonna finish it. So that I can just let it go.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
That was
He
sincere.
listened.
Yeah.
He looked
My
at it.
battles with the tribe. The rats I had to exterminate. That was practice for the war to come. Once we have full control of the island, Doma says a clash of civilizations is inevitable. So when I told her about all the good you had done, all the people you had saved and protected, she said, "You are the missing piece." Great pleasure in introducing you to my...
Thank you. Oh, really?
Who's our
Come
equals
on.
crazy now?
You've got plenty of time. You don't have to be short with him.
Right.
Well, let's begin. Let's get to it.
I think our guest and I should take some time to get acquainted. But I appreciate the introduction.
Oh, she's dismissing him.
Yeah.
She's like, you can go.
Of course. Of course.
Know your place. Oh, he feels sad.
Yeah, I actually felt bad for him for a second.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. What's she gonna do? Oh.
Don't tell me you're spooked by the cops.
It's the forces behind them. Wherever a natural resource abounds, they'll come for it like a snake.
Oh,
Methane.
Methane.
Pack of hyenas. There are others. Settlements as far north as Harlem. If we can unite them under one rule, we'll be indomitable.
Yeah, it sounds like the
And
Commonwealth.
all of it. That can all be yours. Again.
Here's the key to the city.
The keys to the kingdom.
How crazy is being offered a Negan job.
But how can I be sure? Maybe you're not the man you used to be. Maybe you never were.
baby.
I'll give you
One
one
key.
for now.
Fingers or something.
It's a little gun.
Ooh.
What is it? Oh, his ear?
Is that his ear, really?
I don't know.
What the hell is this?
My former guest and I had a lot of talks.
Is that Herschel's toe?
He told me the story of a man who murdered his father, not just in front of his mother, but
Oh, they did take
they
his
did.
toe?
his baby in her belly.
Oh my god!
And I could sense
Oh, now
She
she's gonna
has
see
no
it.
idea.
story, what he himself couldn't. That his father's
Oh
killer
my
feel
god, you never said
remorseful,
anything.
responsible for the boy whose family he destroyed.
He's gonna
Oh,
kill
so
you.
just to
Kill
bribe
her.
him.
Kill her.
That's right.
With that
Just to bribe
glass.
him.
Oh boy, yeah.
Now
We
he's
have a
drinking it.
lot to discuss.
Oh,
Lot to plan for.
I'm psycho.
Oh boy.
It's not gonna end here, is it?
and now she knows what he's been through.
Oh wow.
I want to see it. Saw the picture of her, but oh, weird.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
That's
not crazy. No way, it ends
come
there.
What the heck?
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
come on.
obviously now they're gonna have to do a season 2, which I love
That's
seeing both
right.
of them.
That's right.
Oh my god, I did not expect
my
this
God.
as a freaking finale. I thought we were gonna see. I mean, like Herschel was saved. I
He
thought
was saved.
that
It's
Croat
all
was gonna
about
die.
him now.
Yeah.
right.
Going
It is.
forward still.
Definitely, yes.
Well, it was all about him with this whole season, but
Yeah.
you know, it's all about him going forward too.
That's
You
right.
know, Negan,
wow.
now she has something on Negan. She knows why he came,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
and she knows that, he loves Herschel,
That's
and
right. That's it.
now she's got something on him.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do this, I can always take more.
Wow.
Something.
And Herschel,
Wow.
talking, have a frank conversation with his mom. That was
That was good.
that needed to happen.
Definitely. Yeah.
I like seeing that flashback of them not getting along. Of course, before he was kidnapped, and he was kind of being aggressive towards his mom and not really explaining why. And it's because she's been so distant, because she's always been hyper focused on Negan this whole
Negan,
time,
yes.
which we've discussed how we like how it ended in The Walking Dead, how they had that conversation and she could never forgive him, which we completely understand that. And the fact that he said here that you should never forgive me, or you should never forget it, or something, or let it go.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that was
That's
right.
it.
He gets it, and seeing Negan feel the guilt, like he's very different now, and he did absolutely terrible things. There's no forgiving that, and he knows that, and he regrets it, and he's just different now. So I love that character development on his part. And Maggie, they needed to have that for this story because they have to work together, which is such an interesting dynamic because of their past.
That's
So I enjoyed that a lot throughout the series, but I was a bit disappointed on how much Maggie backtracked into full on against Negan and the past, but it does make sense why. And a few of our fans were saying that you have to remember many years have passed. They haven't seen each other in a while. Herschel in danger now just triggers that emotion again.
Definitely.
And now they have to work so closely together after so many years of not seeing each other. So it just adds a lot of conflict, and tensions are just really high too, because they're in a dangerous city with crazy gangs, and you have tons of walkers all over the place. Herschel, hopefully he's alive, and he's possibly being tortured, so there was a lot of things going on. So I get the tension there, but what do you think about Maggie betraying Negan at the end? I mean, that was a twist too, that he was working with
really
the
a
Croat to
twist,
get
yes.
him
That
to the
is,
Croat.
when we were all worried about Ginny and the freaking dinosaur Stuffy,
right, my God,
and we're like, oh, she betrayed him in that way. She held, Ginny's, appearance there that, against him, so he wouldn't know. So he'd just focus on Herschel's, getting out of there. But you know, that was nothing compared to what she really did.
That's
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
she lured him there. She needed him there
Yeah.
for the
Something,
Croat.
yeah.
Did you expect that too, Mom? Were you surprised to see
I
that?
was very surprised to see that. Yes, definitely.
You know,
Yes.
it was a good twist, but I got so frustrated in that moment, and then we realized that she was fully working with a Croat to get her son back. I can't imagine, again, we're just talking, watching on a comfortable couch, and being a mom trying to protect your kid. You never know what kind of decisions you're going to make when you're desperate, you know. But for her to go that far, and the whole time, like, I didn't realize this whole time she was working with a Croat, but I thought like she just made that decision on her own at that moment to just give Negan to the Croat. And I was like, of all the stuff you went through and you fight so well together, and now you're trying to fight Negan. I mean, it was a cool way, you know, a cool performance, you know, where they're on top of that, you know, stage, I'll say, you know, that whatever that was, and you have all the walkers underneath them. And it was a cool scene, but it was just frustrating to see them fight and put their lives, mainly Maggie, put their lives at danger when she's trying to save her son. Like, you both could have easily died there. Like, Negan even could have killed her, and of course he wasn't going to, but he was just showing, like, see, like, I'm not going to do it. How many times do I have to do things and help you to make you realize that I'm not going to...
Right, and it makes sense now why she was with the Croat. I mean, all along when they were walking up to that structure, going into the building, they were so open. I mean, they were just out in the open. Who knows when the Croat or his Goonies are going to come and get them or whatever, or, you know, do a surprise attack on them, whatever the case may be. But she was in on the whole thing. It was just like, come right in. It was just too easy.
You know, and after everything they went through with Negan in the past, you know, Maggie, she's so smart. And again, it makes an interesting story to do it the way they did it here, but... You know, I'm like, she's so smart, and here she, like, has no choice but to side with the Croat and do this for the Croat. I get, like, agreeing with it, you know, at first, but then working with Negan, and it just shows that she couldn't let it go. That's the thing. That's the whole idea of this. Like, she couldn't let it go, so he had to pay for his crime and all the bad things he did to everyone, but, like, especially, like, her husband, you know, but to go through all these things together in the city and realize, like, even Negan narrating that, you know, we make a badass team, and yet you just don't want to deal with that. You don't want to acknowledge that kind of thing. And, you know, so say, like, for her to trust the Croat because her back is against the wall to save her son, I wouldn't trust getting in there. Like, I'm like, there's no way you're going to have a happy reunion and he's going to let you leave. He's a nutball. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, once you get to that point, he can do anything. And for the Croat to even say whatever he said in the ambulance, like, oh, well, I can keep, look, I get Negan and the child. And then she looked at him and then he's like, no, one's enough. You know, showing that he could have done that to her. Right. You know, like, no one would do that in the past. And
she's like looking at him like so surprised, like, how do you not feel that that could have been a possibility? Like, how are you surprised at that?
Yeah. So for her to go through all this with Negan and still stick to the Croat's plan where you put yourself and your son at risk, like, how are you going to get out of there if things go bad? Like, you're full on trusting this guy. Like, you're better off with working with Negan. And it's not about you at this point. It's about your kid. You want to save your kid. You have better chances going in there with Negan and getting your kid out, you know? At least that's how I took it. So I was kind of, like, disappointed with her actually following through with the Croat and, like, holding a dagger up to Negan's neck in the ambulance when you have, like, the Croat and his crew in there. And I'm like, you have no... I mean, like, she's trying to show, like, see, I followed through, but I'm like, they could just do
and then they're driving, like,
no authority.
Crazily, and you go around the corner, I'm like, okay, put the knife down. You're really going to slit his throat accidentally.
Yeah, right, I know. Yeah. Sorry for that, Bum. Sorry for that. But
And to see the Croat being the middleman and to be so dismissive by Doma, like, she just, like, okay, you did your job. I need to talk to him. You can go now.
See, we don't know much of anything about the Croat except what we heard, and he is a monster, and he's psychotic. Like, he's done a lot of really terrible things. He's killed children. He's tortured probably many people. We've seen some clips, but you know, I actually did feel bad for him. He's a little bit mentally messed up completely, but you know, he really looked up to Negan, and I was a bit, like, of course, wary, but, like, not sure. I was like a little confused because here, like, he idolizes Negan. So to force Negan, like, to trap him to get there and then have him under knife, like, the whole time. But he knows how Negan is, so he probably just thinks, like, oh, this is the only way I can really talk to him for him to, like, see my point of view kind of thing. So maybe that's why. But I just didn't expect him to be so, inspired by him still, like, in that dreamlike state of, like, oh, my hero.
Still.
Yeah, I didn't think that was still a thing. I thought, like, he was disappointed because he's like, oh, he's different now. He has a kid. He cares about this kid Herschel too, and he's like, oh, he's not the same tyrant that he was.
He did say in the ambulance that, I understand my punishment because I killed a girl. I disobeyed you.
Yeah.
So I understand what happened. So he respects the man so much.
Does.
He idolizes
him
to a point where, he told the Doma, I have a guy who can, ultimately protect the city now because they have this great source, this great resource in the methane. And now the marshals, when he goes back to this other, entity of this other, the group of people, his boss is like, we got to get in there. And maybe that was the whole thing. They knew that he could do the job, that he can get Negan, because they knew this whole plan that they need Negan on there to protect the methane. So, like, she knew, ultimately, she got him in there, and she's like, I know damn well you didn't kill him because they didn't want him dead. They want him to protect the island.
Isn't that crazy?
So she knew all along, and that's why she's like, now tell me the truth. So
that makes it more intriguing for next season. Yeah, because now he's going to be in control of something again, and he's going to have to play Negan, but we know that's not him anymore. So for him to be in a similar role, which I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, because I know a lot of fans, it's probably fan service to, kind of see... the contrast of him pretending to be Negan now, just to survive. So that would make perfect sense, because I did hear there was a season 2 in the making, and I'm like, are they going to go, like, will they get along and everything will be better at the end of this season, and then they're going to go off on a different adventure together? But it makes sense that they would continue on here.
Yeah. And the marshal was just a puppet, in this whole thing. And for now it's going to, it's full circle now. He's going to go back there, of course, and play his part. So he's going to be playing a different role, and Negan's going to be playing, the old Negan. And then now you have Herschel also in the mix, where he was there quite a long time, a couple months probably.
And he got his toe cut off.
He got his toe cut off, but she probably talked to him and said, look, your mom was always so obsessed. Like, he had time to think about this, okay?
Yeah.
And mom, had them kidnap me. She was so obsessed. I'm sure the Doma told him that, because he's so bitter with his mom right now. Even though he, at the end, he kind of listened to her and was, thankful that she did understand where he was coming from all along. But, like, the Doma told him, probably, look, your mom was so obsessed, she allowed you to be in danger for a time to get this guy, this monster of a man, to the island for you. That's how obsessed your mom is. So now Herschel is even more, that's why he was so pissed, he was so upset.
For that, yes.
And we did see that with Maggie, especially in this series. But it's sad to know that, it was actually affecting Herschel in such a way too, like, for her to be that obsessed.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, and to see him all through his childhood be, okay, she's protective of me because of him. It's always because of Negan. And now at this head, where he was kidnapped, it just even came into more of a light to him.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I'm glad Herschel's back. I feel bad that he did lose a toe, and hopefully nothing else. I mean, he was there for a long time. And, so I'm kind of wondering, because we see this a lot in The Walking Dead, where people can redeem themselves and nothing's ever truly black and white, good and bad. You have a lot of gray areas, and there's a lot worse evils out there. So now Negan, he fully redeemed himself, but he has to live with his demons. Like, he can't take back all the murdering, the terrible things he's done to people, And now with the Croat, like, I did kind of feel bad for him at the end there. And even though he also is a bad person, maybe he can change too. So I kind of wonder now with this woman, she's going to be way worse. So maybe next season Negan and the Croat are going to have to work together to go fight this lady, because we see, like, even the wolves, like, you have all these really terrible people in The Walking Dead that can change for the better, but they could also be a lot worse too. And then you have these cops, like these marshals who, we have law, we're trying to protect the people, and they're actually corrupt. They're actually not good people. And at least we could see from that lady. And here you have Armstrong that we do like now. He sees things in a different light, but he was never really bad. He justified going by the book, but it doesn't mean that that's correct either, because it was kind of extreme, but you're in the apocalypse, so it's easier to judge. So anyways, like, he's working for a force that is corrupt, and now they're going to start a war to get this methane. And they're probably, I don't know how many cops they have, but they're gonna, like, lose a lot of people trying to fight this domain, like this domain that belongs to this, what's her name?
Doma.
Is her name actually Doma?
Or, I don't know. Doma. Yeah, Doma.
Yeah, I know Doma Smo. I quickly looked up the title, and that means we are home or something. I think that's what that means, we are home. But maybe she goes by Doma too. But so I just think it's going to be an interesting, chaotic fight.
I do too,
with all these different parties.
Who knows? They might want to kidnap the Croat so they can just have the methane. He can start his production at New Babylon.
Yeah. I like that scene when Armstrong was driving back to New Babylon, and you see, like, the people hanging, like, they hung them when they were alive. They committed crimes, and it was showing everyone else entering, like, follow the law, or this could be you. And I like that he actually stopped and stared at it, because you could totally, without any dialogue, you could tell what was going on, and he was rethinking his ways, and he's like, that's a bit aggressive and not really
it's a definite statement.
Yeah, definitely. So
now with Jenny, Negan admitted to her that he killed her father.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That was a huge twist, because I was like, I almost had an Attack on Titan moment, because show, like, they'll just throw a bomb, like, drop a bomb right there, and you're like, wait, what did I just hear? Wait, what just happened? So for him to say that, I was like, that's true. He's telling the truth. He did do that. He felt guilty.
Right. Yes, but he also is protecting her to push her away from him.
Yeah. So he wasn't lying, though. He was saying the truth.
He was saying the truth, but he wasn't saying the true truth on why he killed him.
Yeah, I know there's a lot.
Your dad's raping my wife.
Isn't that crazy? So it's like two shocks of, like, oh God, you murdered her father, and he was a rapist. He was a terrible guy.
But you know what? The marshal knows that. The marshal heard
Thank God he was there.
So I think I think he believes it. And I think at some point Ginny's going to find out the truth.
And she also started to talk.
The hard truth.
She
did because of that moment. And we kind of knew that she was going to at a pivotal moment. But, like you said, it's like, now you decided to chat.
I know, right? Like, we were predicting she would, but I'm glad they didn't do too much, like, like have a full conversation or something, or I like how she just said a little bit, and then you can cut her off, and then she just stopped.
He's like, no,
that's it.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
And again, like, I get why Negan and Maggie were fighting there when Negan kept giving Maggie looks, and then she
at the top of the stairs,
with a slow look.
And I thought he was going after her, but then she's like going after him, and I'm like, but you're hiding something from him, and he knows it.
Yeah, see, I'd have to rewatch that scene again, because I can't remember who lunged first, but I was just annoyed at Maggie at that scene, but that was before I knew she was really working with the Croat. I thought she was just, like, like, I'm just so, I can't get over my hate for you, so I'm just going to kill you now, even though we're so close to Herschel, and I kind of need you to help fight the Croat. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Maggie?
Fighting each other right now.
But it's
I
because
can
she was
see
working
him
with the
doing
Croat the whole time, which I also was annoyed at,
That's
because,
it.
again,
That's right.
her, like, in the past we saw with The Walking Dead, with Negan, she wouldn't openly just walk into Negan's gates and be like, hey, you know, I have this person at knife point. Like, she would have done what she's doing now with Negan and infiltrated, you know, and killed people to get whatever she needed, you know. And so for her to just, like, fully trust the Croat when she had other options with Negan to help get Herschel back. Like, you're just fully trusting the Croat to be like, yeah, trade, thank you for my son, and we'll just leave safely with no... You like, don't come after us or anything, you know? Like, it was just too much of a risk there. But anyways, yeah, like that battle, people want to see that. They want to see Negan and Maggie full on fight and see how it would go. But, you know, I was just kind of like shocked at that moment, like, what's happening? And I just expected, like, a lot of things did happen this episode, but I just expected everything to, like, you know, conclude this episode. So we had a lot of dialogue.
But I think it was really good, you know. A couple of episodes, I'm like, you know, why are they even thinking that they can, you know, infiltrate the Croat and just scoop up Herschel and, you know, save the day? But now it completely makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
She was in on the whole thing, and, you know, even Tomas, he was in on the whole, you know, in a separate way.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to keep his family safe, so, you know. They all had their own little reasons, not all of them, but just those two had their own reasons. But she was cool and just, like, you know, keeping it cool to herself the whole time. I mean, that is...
Oh, wow.
She's been like that. She's like so, I know it's
impressive.
impressive because she's so, like, reserved, and, you know, she's very intense with her emotions because, again, like, she's so hyper-focused on just Negan. I you know, he did me wrong. He was a very evil man, and I get it. Like, we love Glenn. You know, but yeah, she was just that the whole time, revenge, hateful, you know, and then you could see that she was, like, so worried about her son too. So she just never broke from that. She just, you know, we had no idea that she was working with the Croat.
Yeah. And to see Herschel when he's going to have the swap, he's looking at her, but he's not, like, I mean, he's happy, but in his eyes,
you can see something different.
The child's gone.
Yeah.
The child's gone now, and I thought he was just so tortured or what have you, so hurt physically and mentally that he just was so scared of every move to make.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because of the Croat. But now we see that, you know, he's learned a lot about his mom with the time he had
and
to think about things.
It is true, and I really saw that going differently. Where I was really afraid because I thought something bad was going to happen when they reunited. But, you know, with that aside, I really thought, even though you guys have issues together, like, you could have died, your mom could have died trying to save you. I thought it would be, like, a bit emotional, and you could still be distant afterwards, but just in the moment be like, oh my God, like, I didn't think I was going to see you. But they were both, like, she was still that same, like, shut down, like, super strong, I won't show, I have to stay strong and not really show much emotion, like Maggie, she, you know, like, in that situation. And then here you have Herschel, who's just like emotionally dead, you know, and he's just so mad at her, and I just didn't expect that kind of reunion, you know. So they have a lot to work out, but I am happy that Maggie does see his perspective, because that's a huge weight to be like, wow, I didn't know I was affecting my kid that much with this whole obsession.
Yeah, and she's so stubborn. She's not going to listen to anybody else, but I can see her, you know, her eyes, you know, opening with Herschel's statement, because she has to hear it only from him.
Yeah.
For her to wake up.
Yep. Okay.
And now she saw these sketches.
Right. And I would never have chanced having kidnapped too with a Croat.
I
know.
know.
That was horrible. Come on.
What do you mean chance it?
Well, have the Croat, you know, kidnap
Herschel, so she can bring Negan to him.
Yeah, I would never chance that.
Well, I don't think she did that on purpose. Is that what you mean? That she let Herschel be taken?
I thought.
I thought it was too.
Well, the original lie was, this is my understanding, but the original lie that Maggie told Negan was that they stole their grain and they were going to keep going back for the harvest or whatever. And as compensation, they took Herschel to keep them in line instead of bashing someone's head in. So she did not, I really don't think she wanted her son to be taken to get to Negan. And you guys will let us know. I really don't think that was it. I think he still forced and kidnapped Herschel and said, you got to bring Negan to me to see your kid again.
Oh, maybe.
I 100% don't think that would be a thing, because I think that would be just stupid.
However, she was too calm with him.
Maybe.
She was too calm with him. She was too confident in the beginning, at least, until he finally said, I can keep both. And that's when she was a little shocked. But in the beginning, when she saw the crow out and she had the knife up to him, she was very confident. Okay, I brought him. Okay, it's a piece of cake. Maybe, that could have happened because she knew nothing was going to happen to Herschel. Yeah. But
it's an interesting take. I love discussing things.
It's freaking. It's amazing how either way, she freaking just mind blown her kids. I mean, he is going to be scarred for the rest of his life. Sure, this whole incident, allowing this to happen, even though if it didn't happen, and he took Herschel for I'm just going to keep him. I'm just going to keep the kid. Everything's going to be fine. I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to hurt him. But I just want Negan.
Yeah.
Then I'm leaving you alone.
Yeah, because even with in the ambulance when he was telling his story and saying that even though I took Herschel, I knew you were going to get some benefits out of this too. He didn't say that word for word, but he was saying it as even though I'm making you do this, you want to do it too because you hate me
you had a
so
vendetta
much.
against him too. So
it
you had your reasons, yes.
Yeah.
Like he was doing her a favor.
Yeah. So the next series is called Daryl Dixon, and I'm assuming Daryl's going to be in it. Watch it be
favorite guy.
I had a twin brother with the same name, and it's not actually Norman Reedus now. But so that's going to be next, and I'm excited to see what that entails. I am curious because this took place many years in the future. So I don't know if Daryl Dixon's going to take place in the same timeline or closer to the end of The Walking Dead. I'm not a violent person, Mom. Here you go. You can have the power if you want. Watch it for the barbed wire, though. Ow! So, anywho, that's what we're going to be watching next. All three of us are blind to it.
How old is Daryl at this point?
He's I'm so freaking tired.
Right?
I think Norman Reedus, I'm just throwing this out there, but I think at this point he's in his 50s. So,
but I mean the character, how old?
I mean, if they do however many years this was in the future, because Herschel's a teenager now,
sitting in a rocking chair.
I'm so good. He's going to use crossbows to get around. I don't know. Anywho, so I can't wait to see that series, and we'll see you soon. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.